How I use YouTube for language learning and why. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Input English. Today's topic is YouTube versus language learning. In a previous video, we talked about choice overload. We have too many choices, and sometimes that can cause choice paralysis, where nothing happens because we have too much fatigue associated with the process of making those choices. We also are at risk to be disappointed with the outcome of our choices. The reality is YouTube is here and is being used for language learning. As language learners, we have to learn how to use this resource that is super valuable and rich, but has some traps built into it. Now, I came to YouTube not as a language learner, but as somebody interested in a variety of topics. And so I was as guilty as the next person of clicking from one seemingly interesting topic to another. I was captured by clickbait. I watched a whole lot of fairly meaningless but seemingly interesting content. And a lot of times I would click on something, look at it, and then click away. We are taught to do that. We used YouTube for entertainment. The choices are infinite. That learned behavior of choosing and then clicking away, watching small segments of a video, is fine for the entertainment side of YouTube. It's also very good for capturing information that you need. If you have a product and you want to know how a certain feature works, you may click on a video that covers that and then find the portion of that video that specifically deals with the problem you're trying to solve, watch perhaps 45 seconds of the video, and then click away. We all know that behavior. We've all learned that behavior, and it's actually fine. Some content creators put timestamps down in their description so that people can efficiently go directly to the part of the video that suits them. Language learning by Comprehensible Input is different. It's not that I'm making rules about how different it is. I am observing how different it is. I can remember as a kid, we would talk about taking 2 years of German. It sounds like a lot, but actually now, looking back, it was only a couple hundred hours in contact with the language, and most of that time was useless because it was diagramming verb conjugation. So now in the 21st century, when we talk about comprehensible input and time, we talk about hours in contact with the language, not years. When I look at content on the internet for language learning, for instance, Spanish or German, a couple of languages I'm interested in continuing to improve my level, when I look at content, I look at the 3 criteria. Can I understand it? Is it interesting? Is it compelling? And then I select that source. Once I have selected that source, I consume that source. Typically, I'm going to watch everything that's available on that site. There are 3 reasons to consider watching an entire video on such a language learning site that makes good content for comprehensible input. First of all, number 1, it gives you time in contact with the language. Clicking around within a whole lot of comprehensible input doesn't give you much benefit. You really need to focus your mind on the story and stay with the story. That's a benefit to you. Second benefit is to the creator channel. You want that channel to succeed. You want more content. And if you watch the entire video, investing your time on that content, that tells the YouTube algorithm that that content needs to be promoted to other people. So it helps that channel grow. The third thing is that stories usually have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And this is something that is sometimes lost in the YouTube experience. If you're watching stories, if you're trying to get the story, it is useful to stay to the end of the story because a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now, thinking back to the content that I put on this channel, a lot of those stories have endings that wrap everything up. And the best way to have a very good experience with that story is to watch the whole thing. A good storyteller tells the story and then ties it up in a bow at the end so that you get a satisfying ending. So those are the three reasons when I watch a video for language learning that I tend to watch the entire video. It's very unusual for me to click away from comprehensible input before the end of the video. Now, mind you, I'm not bossing you around telling you what you must do. I'm simply telling you, as I said in the beginning, this is how I use YouTube for comprehensible input. There may be a lot of discussion about this. I invite comments below. Hope you join us in future videos. See you soon.